Marcantonio Bentagori in Verona. The home side took drastic action to try and give their team a shock. Well, they certainly achieved some response from them in the first 45 minutes. Ross Dyer and Ray Hudson with you. Ray, this was the moment that made the difference for Chievo right at the end of those first 45 minutes.
Well, we had to have a look at that for sure, because Carini's men advertised what he's been bleeding into them all week long in practice. As short a time as he's had, this team in yellow playing with confidence, in that goal that we just looked at, set up by Rigoni for the wonderful number 77, Cyril Tarot, was absolutely wonderful, exemplifying the belief of the Flying Donkeys and taking it to Maxi Lopez's men and really having their way. Confidence, as we said, was being shown from this team in yellow, and it had been knocking at the door. There's a number of chances were let off the hook for Chievo, and a lot of times that'll come back and haunt you. Well, they would not say die. They kept on coming, and they stitched together a wonderful embroidered piece of football. And the French hitman up top, the 6'3" Tarot, was absolutely wonderful.
Andrea Costa here under more pressure from Peparim Etamaj. Had a very good first half. Is Di Michele trying to link with his strike partner on the day, Cyril Tarot. Of course, we did mention at the start, but worth reinforcing that Chievo doing without Sergio Pellissier today. Normally their first pick up front. Keyhole surgery in the week to remove kidney stones. So he is yet to perform for his coach, his new coach, Eugenio Carini. He will know all about him, though. Former player here, Carini, and avid follower of the fortunes of Chievo Verona. And so far, he's had a great start to his reign. It looked as though it wouldn't come in that first half. The first goal eluding Chievo for all of their attempts, for all of their nice build-up play, but in the end it took a bit of magic from Rigoni and Tarot combining, and real composure from the Frenchman to get his first goal of the season.
Yeah, and ahead of those two wonderful players that you've mentioned there, Ross, I think there was a couple of passes prior to that as well. It was a nicely engineered goal from Chievo, and nothing capricious about it. No luck involved whatsoever, and no chance for Sergio Romero. There was nothing he could have done.
Here is the goal scorer, Tarot. Such confidence flowing through him. Great ball delivered from the left-hand side as well. Di Michele will try and make something of it up against Paulson, and skied in the end.
It's Guana that's reaching in here to meet the train at the station, but he just can't get there. Take a look, the reach in there from Guana, so close again. That's another look, lovely first time ball right into a beautiful inviting area, right in between Romero and his defence again. And then the follow-up, speculative, but why not?
It was Bukhari Drame who sent that ball in with perfect accuracy. Cesar winning the shoulder charge with Nenad Kristicic. Sampdoria with new members in their side, coming back from suspension. A lot of these players trying to get a feel for playing together. It looked in the first half as though they didn't really have that communication going.
Yeah, it's been a little bit lethargic by Sampdoria right from the get-go. A couple of decent half chances, if that, in the first half, but they've just been bossing over in the midfield by the team in yellow, who've been crisper, sharper and more enterprising, and that's just the way it is.
Drame again sending it in. No one had taken up a position there to challenge Costa, who really missed his clearance anyway.
Drame gains possession surprisingly, and I think that's what caught his forwards out, and he sends an instinctive ball in a good area, but the forwards a little bit asleep.
Guana can't shuffle it past Costa this time. And Guana and Obiang coming together.
Guana typifying the 100% embodiment of machismo that is being folded into this Verona team by Carini in a matter of days. They are fighting tooth and nail in a big way, and they're winning all of the 50-50 tackles just like that. They are on top, and against the Sampdoria team that need a response. I don't know what Ciro Ferrara said to them, but it better have been meaningful, because they've got to find another couple of gears. Ross, his men, definitely in the driver's seat, and he will not want them to let down one teeth on the notch.
Roberto Guana just fitting in right at home, joining back on loan in the summer from relegated Cesena. Former Palermo player, as is Carini, of course, the Chievo coach, former Palermo player. Roll the clock back 12 years or so. It doesn't look so different in there, that midfield with the bald head.
Yeah, the convict look.
Doing very well for his side, the number 5 for Chievo. Here's Dario Dainelli.
It's hard to pick out a player in the yellow shirts. It's not playing well. Right. Not getting that one quite right, but he is forgiven.
Well, there were some supportive banners in the stadium from the home supporters, just mentioning Mimo Di Carlo and how they will never forget what he did for the club extremely well last season, again delivering their highest top flight finish for 6 seasons.
Yeah, cruel game, isn't it, that way sometimes, you know. Lost the first 6 of the season, and what you're going to do 5, excuse me. It's all about that result, not what you did in the past, as sad as that is.
It's all very easy for us to say as we see this Chievo attack coming to an end here. The league table is obviously not that important in the opening 6 games, but certainly the club presidents have been looking at it. 3 of the bottom 4 have already changed their head coach.
Yeah.
We saw Ficadenti lose his job this week at Cagliari as well, both following in the footsteps of Sannino at Palermo, who were the first club to act, unsurprisingly. Maurizio Zamparini having enough of his coach already after 3 games. Mimo Di Carlo of Chievo, though, one of the longest serving managers in Italian's top flight, losing his job this week, and it is Carini at Chievo who is now the future of the club. He'll have been pleased with the first 45 minutes.
Been a response from Samp though, Ross. They're starting to play with a lot more energy and appetite in this second half. Ferrara sent them out with fire in their eyes.
Here is Obiang. Maxi Lopez with the flick on. It will reach Berardi, who gets there. Didn't seem to be much weight on the little flick from Maxi Lopez, but the fullback came forward and hit the right area.
Wonderful little touch there, as you said, Ross, by Maxi, and I think that ball should have been heading towards the back to Estegaribia. If you take a look, the man just out of picture there in an ocean of space. Had Berardi been able to lift his head for a moment, he would have found the lurking Paraguayan international. Better play though by the black shirts.
Well, as Obiang takes another tumble, Guana is having a word with the referee, Gervasoni, just trying to calm matters down here.
Guana not certainly meaning to catch him in the face, but certainly meaning to impede him.
So you think that Ciro Ferrara has had some instructive words here for Sampdoria? It looks to have taken some effect. Whipped in by Maresca. It's a better delivery from the ones he managed in the first half as well.
Wonderful play again though by Agnelli. Does well. You see this one again, delivered into a nice area, but look at the marking. Nowhere for them to go. It's focused. It's right on top of the player. Agnelli there, doing enough even if the shot had been on target from Costa.
Nenad Kristicic. Tokari Drame takes it well.
It's a good battle over that far side. Kristicic and Drame.
Now Roberto Guana again.
Been a long time since Chievo Verona have had the bit in between their teeth, and they do not want to let it go, but they are being really tested here now. Maxi Lopez still looking for a clear look at goal though, Ross. He hasn't had much to feed on. And the scraps that he's been living on, the Sampdoria hitman, he's been well shepherded across the back by Dainelli and Cesar.
So, worth picking up on what you said there, Ray. It is the first time that Chievo have been in front since the opening day of the season. And Turo's goal is only their 5th all-campaign. Stefano Sorrentino, who's making his 150th league appearance for Chievo today, will want to keep a clean sheet in order that Chievo can pick up only their 2nd win of the season.
Nice touch.
Here goes Turo, leading that charge.
Good ball.
Stoyan and Drame are there.
Nicely.
And here's the man over Di Michele. Brilliant save from Romero.
Fabulous football again from the flying donkeys who come like flying bats out of hell. And it's led by the Frenchman again. Turo leads to this wonderful slap shot at the back post by Di Michele. But that was wonderful inventive football. I tell you what, this Cyril Turo is really taking the eye. One of the lads in the office there calling him a poor man's Ibrahimovic. That's not a bad explanation of that talent. Maybe you're pushing it a bit, but still you can see what he means. He's got that ability with his feet for such a big guy. Wonderful mover of the ball, Turo. And again, his team linking it together. Take a look. Lovely little dish in here from Turo. He's onside easily. The back post is beckoning. He goes for the pullback. It's a slap shot through, and it's beautifully saved this time by the Argentina international Romero.
Reacted well, did Ciro Ferrara's goalkeeper there, to save a certain second, and a mountain would have appeared. You get the feeling if that had found the back of the net. Sampdoria winless in the last 3. Just get the feeling that their confidence is being tested for the first time in this Serie A season.
Well, again, wonderful character by Chievo Verona, coming out after being on the torture rack for the opening 10 minutes of this game. They certainly were under pressure, but man, when they launched that counter, they put it together with skill and ability and pace and accuracy. Great goalkeeping on the line from Sergio for Sampdoria, keeping his team in it. Remember that save.
It would be a momentous result for Chievo, not just because they need it this season for their new coach in charge, but because in 14 previous Serie A meetings between these two sides, Chievo have won just one of them. It was all the way back in 2005, 2-1 away win. Their only ever league win at home came 13 years ago when they were in Serie B, along with Sampdoria. Conte, Marazzina and Lana scored. We shall see what the remaining half an hour can provide from a Sampdoria standpoint, and what they can throw at Chievo to try and get themselves back into this game. No clear sight as yet for Maxi Lopez, and it's the home side opting to make a second change.
Michel, a little lazy there. Nice ball into him as well, but just being caught in the offside trap. Unlucky again.
Obiang. Time for Estigarribia, although quickly tracked by Hetemaj, who didn't take the ball cleanly.
Well, the replay will show it. The referee's got a real good bird's nest view of this. Estigarribia, great tricky play. Very little, isn't there? Take a look again. The cut back there. Yeah, that's a good call by the ref. Sharp eyes. Here's that little bit lax leading of the line by Di Michel. He had supporting players running off of him and he'd been onside. A good opportunity here for Samp.
Sorrentino has not really had to work, apart from gathering in a speculative Maxi Lopez shot in the first exchanges. We shall see what they can put to his test now. Maresca marshalling the free kick duties.
Oh, this is going to be direct hit, surely.
Oh, it's a stunner! Sampdoria are level. Sorrentino is beaten, and from out of nothing, Enzo Maresca gets his first goal for Sampdoria.
Well, when he's trying to find his teammates, he hasn't been too tricky with it. But finding the net, that's a different thing. Enzo, magnificent. Wonderful strike. Wicked intent in his eyes from the get-go, and it's absolutely magisterial. He curls it and then dips it, and it's got more swerve to it than a Ferrari around Monza. That's a great strike and a wonderful equaliser from a free kick. It's cruel for Chievo Verona, but it's class by Enzo.
Well, they'd wanted to make this change beforehand. Adrian Stoyan is out, Bojan Jokic is in. More defensive switch. Normally plays at left back, Jokic. But now Carini brings him in with the scores level. Sampdoria with their tails up, another long-range effort this time, not troubling Sorrentino. But Enzo Maresca, whom we criticised in the first half for some of his delivery, delivered there without question.
Good turn, needs help.
Berardi, Munari. Enzo Maresca, who is back in Italian football, picked up in the summer on a free from Malaga.
Some good games for Sevilla in his past, in particular Maresca. Spent some time at West Bromwich Albion as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he scored a couple of goals in the UEFA Cup final for Sevilla against Middlesbrough. Part of that trophy-laden period in Andalusia. And here he is, again on the ball. He's pulled his side level here. And Sampdoria certainly have a bit of metal to them.
Said remember that save at the other end as well, Ross, but they're in here. Poor ball.
Still get the feeling that Chievo have what it takes here.
Certainly. But the way that this Samp team came out of the locker room, the portentous were good for them. But then Chievo hit them on that break, and a wonderful save by Sergio Romero that kept the scoreline at 1. I said then at the time, remember that save, because it has proven to be a huge one. If Romero hadn't have come up trumps and that wonderful, great save from Di Michel, his team would be 2-0 up and sailing home.
Maresca back from suspension and back to making headlines. There's an effort coming forward from the centre-back. Everyone's got the shooting bug now. That was Jonathan Rossini, the Swiss international.
Set pieces, man, the great equaliser. And there's no defending that. And it's partly down to that man in between the sticks at the other end. And the practice sessions put together by Ferrara pay off, and we've got a game that is right on the edge. Put your money down. Who do you fancy here? I don't fancy either of them, I tell you that, Ross. I don't know if there'll be a winner, because they're starting to really clamp down on it. It's St George and the Dragon jousting away. Is there going to be a mistake made? Good entertaining, thrilling stuff in Serie A. Nice play again. Got nothing running off him, Maxi.
And Sampdoria constructing their passes under pressure from Chievo, who know that they have let their visitors back into this one. And 2 moments of class have brought us the 2 goals so far. Just wonder, as we see Tiro going over Minari's challenge, whether it will be, as you say, Ray, a mistake that separates these 2 sides now. First change for Chievo Ferraro, and Simon Paulsen comes off. Roberto Soriano is his replacement. We saw Soriano put in a good display last week against Napoli. Not preferred from the start here by Chievo Ferrara, and he brings in the German-born now. Drame has made good progress down that left-hand side. Etamage inside for Di Michele. Turo, lovely cushion volley. Bit too hard though for Frey. Andrea Costa in the end just booting clear for Sampdoria. Chievo trying to wrestle back the ascendancy that was taken from them with that Maresca strike. Beautifully struck.
Yeah, 2 class goals, 2 wonderfully executed goals. One out of wonderful linking up open play for Chievo, and the other one the hybrid route, Ross. Lean and mean from the wonderful hit of Enzo Maresca, who's getting a talking to here.
Chievo's Roberto Guana just having his ankle trodden on. Sergio Romero, who has kept his side in this game. He'll be on international duty this week for Argentina. Lots of games in progress, of course, with World Cup qualifiers left, right and centre. Romero will be making a long old journey back to South America to help Argentina in their qualifying campaign against Uruguay and Chile. That one comes to nothing. Nothing for the goalkeeper to concern himself with.
Well, what answer now out of Corini's men? We've seen this team in yellow start the game so bright, so sharp, so quick, so classy, grabbing a deserved lead, and then having their faces bloodied by the wonderful hit from Enzo Maresca. Is the belief still there in the Flying Donkeys? It seems to be. If they can get this point, it'll be perhaps the start of their salvation, but we'll see.
Yeah, they were one of 7 teams down there at the wrong end of the early table that were all within reach had a victory come. They still have 22.5 minutes to find that victory. But you just worry that as this is the first game of the weekend, whether their heads will drop if they see other results going against them. The other teams now have something to aim at as well over the weekend. Just a reminder that they do sit above Siena and Cagliari. They only sit above Siena because of the points deduction that Siena were given.
Good break here. Player that's been having a decent game as well, Rigoni. Cheap with that giveaway.
Here's Roberto Soriano, former Bayern Munich player. Obiang, former Atletico Madrid. Now Munari, first full season at Sampdoria, former Fiorentina player.
So quick with his control, so tricky on the ball, and he's been fighting with some of it as well. And ball a little bit far away from Mr. Garibia. Certainly a sparky player, as is this man.
A very good game, isn't he?
Yeah.
Toho, just what they needed up there as well. He holds his face after the challenge and coming together with Garibia, the Paraguayan.
He just takes a one in the eye here, accidentally.
Well, it's Sampdoria who get to restart after that. Toho is okay, just making sure his eye is all right. Munari, a touch inside from Krstajic. Obiang surrounded.
It's always coming away from the ball, Maxi. Haven't turned the defence around at all the whole game, have they? Sampdoria again having to come back onto his passes and try to turn the corner, but they are doing a wonderful job of defending the real danger man for Samp in the blonde. Aye.
Well, that cannoned off Cesar's left boot.
He says his apologies immediately, just doesn't get it right. Comes off the wrong side of his flashing boot.
So Maresca with a chance to put this on the head of one of these on-rushing Sampdoria players. It was into the danger area. Hetemaj nodded clear. Obiang will try and keep that in play.
Looked out.
Frey was appealing, but it actually goes Sampdoria's way in the end. You're right. Just before he nudged it with some part of the ball back onto the line. Just for a brief moment, it did look as if the whole circumference was out. So Sampdoria have settled into it. Chievo have rested a little on the laurels at the start of the second half. They've been punished. They couldn't keep up that energy level for the whole 90 minutes. But they are going at it again. And there is still a goal in this game, you feel. Toho. Stopped in his tracks. Krstajic, the beneficiary, and then frustration from Toho.
Well, he's worked so hard and he's never had an easy type of run all game long. And here he gets his revenge in a little bit too early after losing the ball. A pull back, always going to get it.
From some viewing, almost as if he managed to toe poke the ball away, but took the player at the same time.
Well, the hunt now is on for the winner. The next goal will do you. In all likelihood, you never know. Always salvation right down to the last second, but it's just got the feel of a game that it's going to be a deflating goal for whoever concedes.
Well, Carini, he's only seen the best part of 75 minutes from his side, but certainly a lot of signs will have become evident in this match for the coach to work on in the coming weeks. Of course, we mentioned that he will be doing without half a dozen players or so due to the international break. But he will have his game plan put together. It's his first job actually in the top flight of coaching. Had a brief couple of spells in Serie B, and actually came from League One side as well when they decided to make the change earlier this week.
You know, any player that is going to be representing Carini is going to be the embodiment of him, and that was all about full commitment and tireless energy. And I'm going to have to ask it here of them now, because this crowd's starting to sense that things aren't going too well for the Yellows. That's a sure. Coming back into it, and certainly they've put so much energy into this game. It's a nice ball cut inside, but well cut out again. It's in. Touch.
Di Michele seemed to be bundled over. They've got the shot away. It was Bojan Jokic, and the goalkeeper didn't gather it.
Wow.
Needed Berardi to pass the ball back so that Romero could clear properly, but there was no one following in.
Certainly Sergio Romero would be like trying to catch a bullet in your teeth, holding on to that one. A real stinger from Jokic.
This time he rather gets his studs caught up and commits the foul on Rossini.
There's no pullback really. Watch, straight under him here. Bang! That's a wonderful attempt. Just doesn't quite get the angle. Take a look at it again. Straight underneath him. That's brilliant skill from Jokic. But again, perfect position from the keeper. He's looking at wonderful pictures again. Just what it's like in that bird's nest as the keeper comes out and faces that sizzler from Jokic. Good ball.
Couldn't be gathered in by Toho, but Di Michele keeps it alive. Mr. Garibia sliding to try and prevent the corner.
The tired legs a little bit now. Oxygen just not getting to the brain of Cyril Theroux. Beautiful ball in to find him. Look out. Oh.
Frey's cross headed clear by Rossini. And Drame was facing the wrong way to receive that pass. It forces them back and gives Sampdoria the chance to reshape.
Cleared.
Guana. Rigoni wants it to feet. Jokic. And this time the goalkeeper does cling on to it and does it very well.
Certainly got an eye for goal. Jokic coming in, testing Romero, but that one was easy pickings. Real pendulum of a game, isn't it? It's swinging both ways, man. Not much variation in the way Sampdoria have approached this game either. Being a little tepid, it seems, since that bright start. But once they've got the equaliser, they haven't really pushed on with any sort of real urgency. Very patient approach, and Chievo able to contain them every which way. Again, this man way too far away from goal.
He's going for it though. It's Maxi Lopez still on the run, taking on the whole team. Nicholas Frey provided an able barrier in the end.
Tremendous football from him. Away from goal 1 minute, and then the next he's off to the races. And again, nicely contained and bundled up.
So the goal scorer just receiving a few extra words from Ciro Ferrara as Kristicic comes off to be replaced by Tissone. A midfielder for a midfielder, Fernando Tissone. Some fresh legs. Guana escapes no more. Roberto Guana picking up the yellow card. First for Chievo tonight. Maresca's goal at the moment to the rescue for Sampdoria. Is there more in the locker? They've committed the players to suggest they are looking for the winner. And it is a delivery not worthy of such.
Now back to the drawing board for him again. Every time, and he said it after he scored the goal, he found an absolute wonderful arrow in his quill. But his other free kicks into his teammates have been really pear-shaped.
Chievo still having to work hard here to secure this 1-1 result. Lopez. Been a one-man battering ram. Almost a very nice lead from Di Michele for Toho, and Sampdoria read it. We'll talk about the quality needed to unlock either defence. Sampdoria have won 3 times on this ground. For the last time, it took goals from the likes of Antonio Cassano and Gianpaolo Pazzini combining to get the result for Samp. They don't have those two that they can call on. They will be in action tomorrow, of course. A game you can enjoy on beIN Sport, the Derby of Milan.
Nice play again.
Frey's cross, Jokic's flick, and Romero had to come a long way as Di Michele tried to keep it alive.
Frey wonderful here, lovely supply. Jokic with that abracadabra, and just not finding the final man running onto the ball. But again, that whole approach by the Flying Donkeys all the way back in their own half, excellent. Seems as if Corini's got a lot to work with once he does have the time to really mould his team, but it's been a tremendous job this coach has done coming in against a team such a high position in Serie A. Despite whatever the result turns out to be, you've got to doff your cap to the bald man on the sidelines for Chievo Verona. His men have followed out his orders to the letter, but are they going to get anything to show for it?
Nicholas Frey blocking off the run of Estegaribia, picking up Chievo's second yellow card. His second of the season. Is there any joy to be had by the returning Maxi Lopez? Maresca. It's awful. No way around it. And don't quite know what's going on with that right boot. It only comes out when it's time to shoot.
He's had enough. I think he's going to pull Maresca off. I mean, you talk about the times that he's had to adjust his gyroscope and totally get it right, and he's been flat as a pancake every time he's delivered the free kicks. But anyhow, the ball.
Munari up against Drame. Oh, no vision. It's that attacking cohesion that they are lacking. How much credit do you give, Ray, to Chievo on that?
Certainly, it's said in the early going as well, Ross, that Cesar and Daniele doing a tremendous job all around Maxi, and so far it's been no way through. They've been forcing him back away, and a few times that Maxi has been brought into the game, you've got to rely on your players running off, because there you see number 2, Daniele, is been inside his shorts all game long. There'll be nowhere for Maxi Lopez to turn. Defenders has got to be a little bit more worried with the supporting players, but that's a wonderful spank here.
From Guana for Di Michele, and Estegaribia playing as an orthodox left back there, doing very well. Picked up an injury for it as well.
Wants the corner here. He has a case. Take a look. Seems to come off Estegaribia and is there any touch of the ball? Is it over the line? I'm not so sure there was.
So the goal scorer has had his work done.
Tremendous performance, really top class. It was a little bit fleeting at times, disappeared out of the game a few times along periods, but he would come out of the long grass very, very sharp and always dangerous. And Cyril Theroux leaves his fingerprints on this game with a memorable goal. You know, wonderful leader of the line, and now danger in them eyes.
Mamadou Samassa, the Malayan. Is there a winner to come from his boot, I wonder? Dainelli. First opportunity here for Samassa to collect. Got spun around somewhat. It's a 26-year-old French-born.
Looks like the type, if you put him in over the top, he'll be feasting for all he's worth. Big, strong player.
Yep, just getting used to Italian football so far. Trying to make the adjustment from the French Ligue 1. It's with Valenciennes previously before joining last month. There's a problem here for Obiang, who is down. A crunching tackle. So far, no stoppage. Chievo within their rights to play on. There was no decision. Di Michele. Oh, it's in! It's an absolute blunder from Romero. And Chievo quite possibly have found a winner. Di Michele against his favourite opponents. 10 career goals now against Sampdoria. This one will be so memorable for Chievo.
Well,
and for that man.
Ferrara is going absolutely ballistic at the referee for not calling a foul on Frey, excuse me. But it doesn't matter. It leads to this jackrabbit attack. And Di Michele tests himself. Beautiful turn, spin, control, settle. A little hesitation and a pop. And then Romero thinks he's got it all day, but his hands look like they've just been shot full of Novocaine here. He freezes. It should be easy pickings. Well, he's picking it out the back of his net. Put it over the bar. Take a look again. It goes through and he follows through Frey, and that's the one that I was talking about that the referee should have called back, and that's the one that Ferrara is going crazy about. He plays the ball and then the follow through, and it's a nasty collision, and the referee allowing play to continue, and it led to the goal.
And Chiro Ferrara is absolutely enraged with this one. Nicolas Frey is one of the players on a yellow card as well.
Wow.
But play was allowed to continue. Up stepped the 36-year-old David Di Michele. It looked speculative. There was a lot of movement on the ball. The goalkeeper really should have gathered it in.
Yeah, or pushed it over the top of the bar, Ross. I mean, doesn't matter now, it's gone. But as you said, coach of Sampdoria being carded and sent off. And you can understand his frustration. In live time, the tackle by Frey, it looked as if it's one of them situations, modern footballers just poke it out and keep your cleats down. You're still going to get the ball and win it, but he came up with his cleats definitely showing, and then that step through, and then his momentum taking him into the Sampdoria player. I thought it should have been called, because it certainly looked as if the player was in distress. That led to the goal. Yeah.
Well, Obiang takes a bruising for his team and comes to the bench into the final minute. Mauro Icardi will come on and try and salvage this point back. It looked as though they had earned it, but then they gave it away, not unduly. And simply, the circumstances surrounding it will be infuriating to everyone connected with Sampdoria.
Romero, the goalkeeper for Samp, who has kept them in this game with some tremendous saves that led to the equaliser. Really, it's got to be laid at his door. The ball that was hit was a tester, but it was real fundamental goalkeeping. Just push it over the top. But he goes to collect it confidently, but it was mistaken confidence, and he's cost his team badly. And yet, Sampdoria will feel as if they were robbed and unjustly.
What an eventful start to Eugenio Carini's career. They still have 2.5 minutes to see out here. Romero will be seeing that in slow motion for a good few weeks to come.
His reflexes on the line have been magnificent. In this one, he has plenty of time to think of as it's whistled towards him, and that's what the technical staff are thinking, man.
Free kick to Sampdoria here. Dainelli backtracking, putting his team under some pressure here. Maresca with another opportunity. Chance to chip it in. It was somewhat better, but Rigoni got it clear. And Sorrentino will take that under control nonchalantly. Carini, it's a good job that he is already bald, isn't it?
I'm not so sure if he was prior to this game. Well, certainly, certainly polished it here today, but what's looking to be an absolutely fantastic fight back and a wonderful start to the Carini era. This team have been full of pluck, there's no question about that, but they've been nice in knitting it together on their attacks. And even the go-ahead goal had a hallmark of quality about it prior to the blunder in between the sticks of Romero, the lead up to the goal. But you still can go back to that challenge by Frey on Obiang that led to it. That's where the genesis of the goal was, and that's what will be contested by Ferreira.
Well, if they are able to rebuild themselves, as we see Tassoni picking up a yellow card, Chievo will look back at this week as being perhaps one where they turned a new chapter. And they've done it. He's nicknamed the Genius. I'm not sure it was ingenious today, but it's certainly by a stroke of good fortune and some fantastic team play. Chievo have risen to provide their coach with his first win in charge, their first win since the opening day of the season. They stopped the rot. Ciro Ferrara incensed at the manner in which the second goal was scored by David Di Michele. But they had a fantastic team performance here. Michele striking against Sampdoria once again. Second win in the top flight against Sampdoria for Chievo in their history. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened here. Importantly so for Eugenio Carini and Chievo. They win it by 2-1. From Ray Hudson and myself, Ross Dyer, thanks so much for being with us on this Serie A Saturday here on beIN Sport. We'll see you very soon.
South American qualifiers have reached midpoint. The past is history. It laid down the ground for the future. 90 minutes will speak louder than words. 9 teams must defend their honor, their pride in a relentless journey with one goal, one objective. Brazil 2014. Enjoy the South American World Cup qualifiers. Only on beIN Sport. It begins with a a challenge, a journey. It will require dedication. It will separate the great from the greatest. It's a chance to become a legend, a hero, a champion. They will struggle, they will fight, but only one will prevail. It's a new full season of Spanish tradition, passion, and royalty. The Spanish League, exclusively on beIN Sports. beIN Sport brings you direct access to the world of Barca. With exclusive interviews, in-depth analysis, training camp reports, and everything that happens behind the camera. Because Barca lives in Barca TV. Only on beIN Sport.
It's a country, it's a nation, even two colors, two clubs split in two. I face both. You know, Messi, again, when I play against Barcelona, and Ronaldo for 4 months, you know, at the training ground, saw different players, but, you know, world class, both of them. With this game, you got passion everywhere in the world. As a footballer, I think it's the best game you could ever play.
I can't imagine playing the game of golf through my career and worrying about what I was